Thank you for coming back to our channel, The Physics Mindset, the channel which is here, which is made for you to bring the new technicians, the already technician, and supplying the clear knowledge in solar system, electricals, and electronics. Today, let me give you something, an example. What if you wake up in the morning and you find your solar system has stopped working? The complete system has stopped working. Okay, remember, there is no electricity, there is no some savings, and you didn't expect this repair bills to come out. Now there is some unexpected repair bills which are needed. Okay, your solar system has stopped from nowhere. All the components, the regulators, the inverters, the solar panels, the lights are off. The battery is not working. Today we are going to work on how to diagnose a complete solar system failure when your system has completely failed. Okay, because we have the way we can tackle this, the way we can diagnose these problems. Remember, our aim to do these solar system packages is to save the electrical bills and use this money to do other work for you. Now, once the system has failed, what next is to diagnose. I'm going to give you how to diagnose and exact solutions of how you can diagnose a system, and it will work for many years if you properly do the solution in the way I'm going to give you. Now, solar system. In solar system, the complete system doesn't fail because of other factors, but it fails because of 5 factors. Okay, solar system fails because of 5 factors, which I'm going to give you today. Which factors are those? One of the factors which causes the complete solar system to fail is the solar panel. Number 2 is the charge regulator. Number 3 is, which makes the solar system to fail completely, all the system to fail, is the battery. Number 4, which we are going to look at, is the solar inverter. Number 5, which we are going to see, is the complete wiring. We are going to diagnose everything. These 5 components can cause a system to fail. One component like this, on the 5 which I've mentioned, if one has failed, it can make the full complete system to fail to function. Okay, let us say if it is a battery. Once a battery, that is the source of power at night. If the battery fails, your lights will not work, the system will not work, the regulator will not work. Remember that at night, the solar panel, we don't have use for it. The inverter will not work, and the whole system comes down from operation. That's why any single component can cause the system to stop working. And that is what we are going to see. How can we come up with solving this problem from our system getting not function? This solar system is too crucial, and it doesn't fail before showing you signals or signs that there is a fault. These signs, my fellow customers, technicians, engineers, teach our technicians or customers whom you have installed your solar system, teach them, give them some clue about the knowledge of solar, because they don't know anything. Their aim is to have their gadgets working, or their aim is their solar system installed on their houses, but they need some knowledge. Okay, like the way I'm giving you this knowledge. Give them some knowledge so that they can use to solve some problems before they call you as a technician. Okay, now clients, this solar system shows some signs to the clients, but since the clients have no knowledge about the solar system, they will ignore that those signs that this, let us say, a regulator will show a sign, or an inverter will show a sign that there is something, there is a problem going to happen. But a customer, since he doesn't know the knowledge, he has no knowledge about solar system. That's why I've been giving you solar topics from the beginning to this time, of diagnosing problems and the causes and the solutions. Since he doesn't know the knowledge about solar system, the signs with these components are showing. You know, the component doesn't just wake up from morning and it dies or it stops functioning. This problem comes in steps, okay? But the people having the solar system, they ignore these signs. An inverter will beep, will bring a sound showing there is an overload, either an overload or a short circuit. But a customer, since you didn't teach him about that fault, that once this happens, do like this, like this, like this, a customer or a client will think that that is how an inverter works. Yet an inverter is indicating a problem coming. Oh, there is an overload. Please reduce on the overload. I will stay safe. But a client will not understand the knowledge or the language the inverter is talking. This implies also to the batteries. Let us say an example to the batteries. But why don't we dig into the system and we give the clear examples on the component failing, the causes of the failing, and we give also the solutions. We are dealing with the complete failure of the system. Complete solar system failure. How to diagnose a complete solar system failure. This is our topic today. Okay? You wake up in the morning, the system has failed. Okay? What happens? One of the problem is, check. I'm going to explain technically. Please be attentive. I'm going to explain technically how you tackle, how you diagnose the problem and how the problem has come. Though I have no system with me here, but put the system in your mind. Technically, that is how how technicians we think, or engineers, we put the image inside our mind. Before we start any problem, think like a physician. Think of the problem. What has caused that problem? After thinking about the problem or the cause of the problem, automatically you will have the solution with you. Okay? After having the problem, the solution will come. Trust me. Once you think, you will have the solution. Now, the system has blacked out. We're on the solar system. The complete failure of the system. I mean, your lights, your inverters, your regulator has stopped, your TVs have stopped, everything has stopped. A sudden situation. Whereby if you take a customer, you didn't save money to do the repair. You know? Where you are, you even failed to bring electricity because of its bills, high cost of bills. And you decided to invest in solar system. Can you imagine that? You waked up in the morning, you invested thousands of money in the solar system. Now this solar system, from nowhere, it stopped or it blacks out from working. Yet you expected life to move on smoothly. Now, cause number one, if you're a technician, if you're a client, call a technician. Now, if you're a technician, once you come to the site where there is a complete failure of a solar system, okay, what you should do, number one thing is the panel working? That's the number one problem. Is the panel working? Even though it is not the only problem. We are going to look at the cause and the problem. I mean the cause and the solution. Two things. We are going to look at the cause and how you tackle the cause, that is diagnosing, and how the solution can come out to make your solar system come again to life. Number one problem if you're a technician is, does a solar panel working? Does a solar panel working? I'm going to show you there a full set of solar system, solar panel, a regulator, solar battery, then an inverter, then yeah, that is the complete solar system. If you're a technician, you aim at bringing all that system to work. A panel must work, a charge controller must work, a battery must work, an inverter must work, and the wiring, is the wiring fine? Once you diagnose everything like that, I know automatic everything must work. Now number one problem where we are, does the solar panel working? As a technician, put this in mind. Make sure you're going to deal with power. Now dealing with power, I advise all technicians, whenever you're dealing with power, be curious and conscious about electric shocks. Okay? In electricity, we don't forge. Okay? There is no forging in wiring. There is no one who will deceive you that I know something. If you can't wire, it means you don't know. Wiring, I mean, if you can't do any practical part, or you can't express something, you can't talk about something, it means you don't know it. We don't forge in electrical, in electronics, and in solar system. We don't forge anything. If you're a technician, that is all. You are a technician. Okay? Number one asset an electrician should have, or a technician, or a solar installer, is this: a multimeter. This is the second mind we have as technicians, a multimeter. Once you use your mind, the second mind is this one. This man is so bright if you master and if you know how to read, how to use it, because it has everything. It has a DC voltages, how you can measure DC voltages. It has AC voltages, okay, AC, and it has how you can measure ohms, those are the resistance, how you can measure capacitance, okay. It has a lot of amperes, that is current. Once you know how to read a multimeter, this is the second mind. Now it comes, you can't do what we are going to learn today without this man, a multimeter. You can't forge, as I've told you, we don't forge that. We don't expect, we measure. In electrical, we don't expect. I expect that thing to be like this. No. Go on ground and measure. You have the multimeter. This is the second mind. If you're measuring, first think about, you're measuring what? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a resistance? Are you looking for capacitance? Are you looking for voltages? Are you looking for currents? Are you looking for any value? Now, if you're looking for voltage, what voltage are you looking for? That is technical now knowledge. Okay? If you're looking for voltage, if it is a battery, just expect it must be 12 volts. If it is AC, expect to be 240, 230, 220, 110 volts AC. Okay? Now, if it is a battery, we expect 12 volts. Everyone knows that batteries, they are of 12 volts. Okay? Now, meaning you will set your voltmeter, because you will not look, you will see a battery when it is fine, but the voltages are 3 volts. Now, they have written 12 volts on the battery. Without this machine, you can't tell that the battery is 3 volts. Okay, that's why this is the second mind. Okay, we come back to our topic today, how to diagnose a complete solar system. We were on solar panel. Once you have this, go disconnect the solar panel from the system. We want to look at, does the solar panel works? Okay, Number one thing you should do is inspect solar panel for dirt, that is dust. Okay, with your naked eyes you can see the solar panel if there is dust on it. If there is dust, just know can cause the system to fail because the battery will not charge. I'm giving you technical information, technical solutions. Okay, once the solar panel has dust, okay, just know the battery is not going to fully charge. That's number one problem or a cause of complete failure of solar system. Now check, does the panel has some shade? Shading, I mean, if it is under the tree or you're near the trees, when the wind blows, some leaves can come out, the dry leaves from the tree can come and settle on the solar panel. Okay, now once the leaf has settled on the solar panel, it covers a solar cell, and once a solar cell, remember a solar cell produces, when sun rays hit the solar panel, it hits the solar cell. Each solar cell can produce some voltages. Now once a leaf shading, once a leaf has fallen on a solar panel, on our solar panel, wherever you have mounted, either on the ground or on the roof or on the street, okay, this leaf will act as an obstacle to light rays to the panel, and the cell which is being covered will not produce any voltages. Meaning, if our panel is producing 20 volts and there is some cells which are covered, it will not produce the 20 voltage, and it implies that the battery will not get the exact voltages to charge it or the currents. Okay, meaning your system will black out. Okay, now check for the dust on the solar panel. Inspect or check the solar panel for the dust, shadings, and check if the solar panel is damaged. Check if it is damaged. Okay, now if it is not damaged, clear the shades, the leaves from the solar panel. Now I'm on a solution. If it is not damaged, clear the leaves from the solar panel. If there is dust, clean the solar panel. Okay, clean the solar panel with some soap and some water. I recommend this to be done every month, at least do at the end of the month. Please, customers or technicians, to your customers, deliver this information or give them. If you want some service every month, tell your customers that you deliver service every month, that solar panel need to be cleaned every month. Okay, wherever you are, it depends on the country you are. Some countries have a lot of dust. Clean the panels every month, at least once, regularly. Okay, you will avoid the system failing. That is one of the solutions technically. Now once you have cleaned the dust, you have removed the shadings, those are the leaves, and you have seen when the damage is not there. What next? Get your multimeter, set your multimeter to the DC voltages, because solar panel produces DC voltages. Okay, put your multimeter to the high voltages. If you know the voltage you're going to measure, since you know the panel that may be producing 21 volts, then you can put in 200 voltages, or the voltages above. Set your multimeter to the volt above the voltages you want to see on the multimeter. Okay, if it is 21 volts, I'm going to put my multimeter. My multimeter is showing 2 volts, 20 volts, 200 volts. Now 21 volts is between 2 volts, between 20 volts and 200 volts. Then I put on 200 volts. Then I'll get the terminals of a panel, positive, negative. Here I have a positive and a negative. Then I measure. If I see 21 volts here, on the terminal when I have disconnected the terminal from the supplying to the battery or to the regulator. I measure only a panel. After doing all the cleaning, the dust, the shading, I've removed everything, the panel is not damaged. I measure, I find my 21 volts. It means that my panel is working very well. I have no problem with the panel now. Technician will know that that solution is done with the panel. Now, if the panel is not working, okay, if you measure and the panel shows something, some difference, either instead of showing you 21 volts, the panel is showing you either 10 volts or 7 volts. Now, technically, just know, remember I told you in the last videos, I told you how the cells are connected in a solar panel. Now, this will run into your mind that some cells are not working. Even though the solar panel on top of it looks clean, not damaged, but inside these cells are connected in either in series connection. It means some series, some cells are not delivering some voltages. And the solution I can give, you can't repair these cells inside the solar panel. You can't remove the glass and repair, or you solder the solar cells. Okay? The only solution you can do is to replace the solar panel. Know the wattage of the solar panel, replace it with the exact voltages, exact wattage. That's the only solution you can do. Okay? Technically, don't waste your time. That is the only problem. The problem and the solution. Because you have removed the dust, you have removed the shading, and you have observed that the panel is not damaged. Okay? The glass is not damaged. Now you're measuring the panel alone to see that it has that 21 volts, and you find that there is no 21 volts. Replace, go and buy a new one. Tell the customer to go and buy a new one, then you install as a technician. Now, since we have found let us say we have found our 21 volts, our panel is working. What is the number two causes of a complete solar failure? Number two, we can say, is what? From the panel to the regulator. From the panel to the regulator, let us check a regulator if it is working. Number two, I've said, verify the charge controller operation. Verify the charge controller. Charge controller is the regulator, okay? If the regulator is cooperating very well, does the regulator, either the regulator have on the screen, is it showing? Because it shows when the battery is connected. Now, if the battery is very low voltage, too much low voltages, a regulator may fail to power on. And we need to check the regulator. Meaning, we need to connect the solar panel to the regulator. You are seeing the chart there from the solar panel to the regulator. We want to see if the regulator gives us some signals. If it is not giving some signals, after connecting your solar panel and the battery, you first connect the battery, then you connect the solar panel. If you don't see any signal on the screen of the regulator, then what you can do is open. Behind the regulator there is screws, like 4 screws on the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, on the 4 screws, like this is the regulator. Behind there is a seal which have technical information. Okay? The wattage, the ampere, the open circuit amperes, the voltages. Okay? Now, on its sides here, it has screws. Open the screws, check with the multimeter. As I told you, this is the only second head. After opening the screw, what next without this? Without this, you'll mess up with you will not know if you can do some repair. And yet this channel is for technician to know the basics of how to handle any problem. And our topic is to diagnose. Diagnosing meaning you are using the meter. Even though you are sick, let me give you an example. When you are sick, if you go to the hospital, you have cancer inside your stomach. I know the doctors will know that is cancer. Can the doctor just say, cancer, move out, and the cancer moves out? No. You will go in a theater for an operation. They will bring all scissors, all gadgets to operate you, to cut you, and that comes for us technicians. We use this to tell us that there is a problem or the problem is solved. This is our machine. The second mind, like doctors, they bring scissors and the scanners, they scan you, they do what? Okay? For us, we shall use the machine. We know the problem, but even though we know the problem, you have opened up a charge controller. What next without this? Try to test. Check if the fuse has blown. Okay? Check with the meter. Put a continuity. Continuity means it will buzz. Once you test the fuse, another side on another side, the meter will bring some sound. Once you put on the continuity. A continuity has a diode side, a diode sign, and what? And a buzzer sound. Once you connect them, once you connect these, once you measure the fuse, the diode, the meter will bring some sound. Okay? Now, verify the charge controller. If it is working, well and good. If the fuse has blown, replace the fuse and then test again. Fix the panel, then fix the battery, then put the panel and see if it is going to bring it is going to show on its screen display. Once you see the display, just know the regulator is okay. Okay? Now, once you don't see, check with a working battery. To test a regulator, you must check it with a working battery. Okay? After putting your battery in a regulator must display. Or if it is using lights, it must light up. Okay? Once it doesn't do that, replace. Once you have fixed the fuse inside the regulator and you test again and it fails to work, then replace the regulator. The regulator may have blown. That's a solution. Okay? Now, number 3. Now, since we have, let us say the solar panel is working well, we have replaced it. The regulator, we have tested it and we have replaced the fuse. Now the regulator is working. Now, the battery. How do we check the battery? Number 3, you can do as a technician, inspect and measure the battery voltages. Inspect and measure the battery voltages. Inspect and measure. Inspection is observe the battery. Look at the battery. Does the battery swollen at its sides? If the battery is swollen, you will see these swollen are the battery cells inside the battery. Now, if let us say now you're inspecting, the battery is looking healthy, good looking. Okay. Now, what next? You can't tell without a multimeter. This is the second brain. There is your brain where it stops, and you need to use a multimeter to continue helping you to continue diagnosing the problem. Okay? Inspect. After inspecting, measure. How can you measure the battery voltages? You can't measure by your eyes. You measure by a multimeter. Now, put your multimeter to 20 volts. Measure the voltages. If you have seen 12 volts, the voltages is okay. Now, if you have not seen, you have seen 0 volts or you have seen 2 volts, it means the battery was totally discharged and it is in a state of it can't pick any power. Now here comes a technical solution I can give you. Some batteries fail to start up and they are locked in discharge mode, whereby you need to how can I tell, to charge it, like reboost, like boosting it again. Let me use that word, boosting in battery. Yeah, that's the technical knowledge, the technical word I can use. Boosting, it needs to be boosted. You can't just charge it with the normal current. It needs high current to come up in life. But if you use your panel voltage, it can fail to charge because it is in a discharge mode. Now it needs high current so that it comes back to life and starts charging. Now that is boosting. You take the battery where they charge these batteries. Those people who charge the batteries, they have a booster. That booster has high currents. Now once you, for few minutes, charge the battery like for 30 minutes with high current, the battery will wake up. The battery can be working, but once it goes, it really gets deeply discharged and it goes to discharge mode, it cannot come back to life. Your system will fail completely. And the only solution is to boost the battery. And once you boost the battery will come back to life. And you bring back to the charging system of your solar system, it will charge. And after you check with your multimeter, and you will see when the battery has come back to life. And that's a solution to measuring the voltages with your multimeter after inspecting. Now if you do all those inspections and you measure the voltages and you take the battery for boosting, still the battery fails, it means inside the battery cells, the batteries have faulty inside. The only solution sometimes you can do is to replace. But before you replace, take the battery to the for boosting. Check with the multimeter if you have the voltages have come again to normal, 12 volts or 12 or 13 or 11. Then charge the solar, put back the solar battery to charge with the solar panel. And the regulator also will read the voltages on the battery. The voltages of the battery will be reading on the charge controller. Then the solar panel will be charging our battery, and we shall bring our battery again to life. Okay. Now, the first step, we are doing the solution. We are diagnosing a complete failure. Now remember, we started with a solar panel, and now a solar panel is working. A regulator is working. We have tackled the battery also, is now working. Okay. As me, a technician, I'll be happy because once the solar panel is fine and the battery is fine, those are the hearts of the system. Without a solar panel, we can't have a power, and without a battery, we can't store the power. Okay. Now, after finding out all the system is working, solar panel is working, regulator is working, battery is working. Now, what of an inverter? You know, a client system is working on, the system are working on an AC, meaning he installed an inverter which converts DC to AC. Now, time for checking an inverter. What should we do? Inspect, I told you, observe, or you can use observe and check the inverter display for an error message. The inverter display for an error message. Error message, I mean, some inverters use lights to indicate that it's working, either red or green or yellow, okay, to show that it's working. You can use an APS, American Power Supply, or UPS, uninterrupted power supply. Those, in terms of, they can work also like inverters. Okay, but once you have an inverter, a pure sine wave inverter, okay, which you are using to light your gadgets, the TVs, the lights, check if it has an error message. Some inverter are electronic gadgets. They give message or an IC command, and it brings a message on the screen which shows a fault or a short circuit. Now, if you don't see this message and the inverter stopped because the battery was deeply discharged, after connecting, get your terminal from the inverter. Inverter has two terminals which picks the terminals which are connected to the battery, a positive and a negative, and connect them to the battery. The inverter made sure and it made work properly. Another problem, the inverter may be in fault condition. Once in a fault condition, if you don't know how to repair an inverter, please, for this repairing of an inverter, we shall see it when we go into electronics. Okay, I'll show you how you can repair an inverter. Okay, I don't want to miss anything. We started with solar system, we shall go into electricals, then after electricals, then we see the solar and the electronics. That's where we shall do a lot of work in all electronic fields. Some inverter, once you need to repair, if it is having some fault, you need to repair or take it to technicians who know how to repair it. Or yourself, you can screw it, check what can be the faulty. If you have some ideas of repair, use the multimeter, test the output transistors, then test the transformer, test the circuit inside the inverter circuit. Do some small repair as you're a technician. Try out to change the power transistors on the heat sink. Those are the normal output transistors. They are on a heat sink, okay, inside the inverter. Then try to replace them with the exact value. They have values on it. Read the value on it, then go and buy on the market, come and replace and try again to power the inverter. You never know, it will work. Okay? And if it works, well, for you, the technician. Now, since our inverter is working, the battery is working, the charge controller is working, the regulator is working. Now, I want to go now to the wiring, because our customer is working on AC. Now the inverter is ready to supply our AC to the households or the house gadgets. Check, inspect or observe the wiring and fuses in all installations. Inspect the wiring and the fuses. I mean, if you are passing your power from the inverter to the main switch, okay, pass your power. If the power is passing from the inverter, please take it to the main switch. That is an AC, because we need control on AC. AC needs, anytime there is a short circuit. Now these circuit breakers will at least save our house from burning by tripping off. That's why I don't use direct from inverter direct to the TV. Put some control circuit breakers somewhere, or use a main switch. Okay, because we are using AC now. Now check the wiring. Observe the wiring. First check before powering. Go with your torch in the ceiling. Check the wiring if it is okay. Check the joints. Test for continuity. Test the switches. Test on the bulbs if there is some shorts. Okay. Look for any fault from the rats in the wiring. That's inspection of the wire. Inspection of the wiring. The rats can bite a cable, and that bite can cause a system failure. Okay, it can bite the main power line in the ceiling. So if you inspect the wiring, you can tell that, oh, this is a rat. Oh, the other one That's the rat which caused this problem. Then join, cut and join back, insulate and observe all the wiring again, like as if you're wiring from the main source. Observe one room connection. Then you remember you were in the ceiling, okay? If the person didn't work, he didn't do the surface wiring, I think he did the ceiling. Check the cables, check the connection, check the joints. Observe that everything is fine, okay? Check the fuses. If he's using a main switch, test the fuses with the meter continuity if the fuses are working. If they are working, then go and power or switch on the inverter. Wow. AC will go and the TVs will start working. The lights will come back to life. Our lights, security light, the TVs, our charging of the phone, the radios, the DVDs, the fan, the fridges will start working. And for this, I will thank you, the technician who has done the proper diagnosing of the complete failure of the solar system. I'll approve you that you know how to solve solar problems. There, I give you an idea that if you're a technician, you can even open up a company, a solar company, which diagnoses solar system problems. And your company be the manager. I'm giving you a clue of how you can make money in solar system. Be the manager. Design how your technician get 1, 2, 3, the number you can manage. Start moving door to door. You know, our countries, everyone, mostly in Africa, everywhere, people have solar systems, but they don't have technicians who know how to solve the problems. But once you know how to solve the problem, why don't you help the community? Help the community. Go to a house. Once you see a solar panel on the house, go there. Ask, do you have any problem on solar system? Clients have problem with solar systems, but I don't tell people outside because my neighbor will not, I think my neighbor has no idea about solar system. You will find a village when there is one electrician, okay, and this electrician studied electrical. He didn't study solar system. He knows electrical. Or there is a technician, repair technician, okay, repair technician, whereby he studied to repair TVs, radios and phone, repair, amplifier. He does that electronic repair. He doesn't know how to solve the problem of solar system. Now, if you open up a company to solve problems in solar system, you will work every day. Every day there is business in the solar systems. Once you go, knock, observe if someone has a solar panel. Observe the solar panel. Solar panel can just tell you that there is a problem. Or once you see the dust on the solar panel, just know the client, that person, even though if it is not you who installed that solar system. If you see dust on the solar panel, just know has a problem. It is automatic, he has a problem. You will find the bulbs are not working. You will find the battery is not fully charging. And once the battery is not fully charging, what happens? Sulfation. And once sulfation comes on the battery, sulfation, those are white powders on the battery, and once they come on the battery, they cause resistance to the battery, which resistance consumes power from the battery. And once the battery is consumed, once the power is really consumed, yet the solar panel has dust, is not charging, the battery will die. Those are the problems customers have. And they will not tell people, okay? Remember, a customer has invested thousands in solar system to save the electrical bills, but now he has no one to help him or her. Be the one to do this work. Open up a company of solar system. Do the work to the societies. You will go wide to the countrywide and solve problems every day. Thank you for learning. And these are the things we can see to inspect or to diagnose a complete solar system. Inspect the solar panel for dust, shading and damage. Verify charge controller operation. Inspect and measure the battery voltages. Inspect and check the inverter display for error message. If not, lights, if the lights are there. Inspect the wiring and fuses in an installation. Once you do all these things, as I told you from the beginning, that a solar system failure, it doesn't fail because of something else or another effect. It failed because of the 5 effects which we have looked at today, and these are the ones. So if you're a technician, take that advice and you will have the best life in solar system. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share to the community, friends and family. Thank you for watching. See you.